We're going to examine the global car industry, and to help me in the studio is Professor Mike Sweeney. Now Mike, if we focus first of all in on the UK, what's the current state of play with the car industry in Britain?
Well, it's very positive actually, because the inward investment by some of the people that have come into the country now and taken up the reins of organisations, and their investments have helped manufacturing industry and car production grow by 28% last year, and it's up again about 5% for this year, which is actually leading the manufacturing industry recovery in the UK.
So it's been good for the UK economy then?
It's been excellent for the UK economy, and so much so that it's stimulated greater investments by owner companies, foreign investors. 700 million in total if you take Nissan and BMW. And there are further investments taking place by the owners of British manufacturing companies in new products, and that's all to the good for the nation.
So the UK car industry seems to have transformed itself. I mean, you and I are of sufficient age that in the 1970s everything looked finished, didn't it?
Yes, it was very depressing. In those days the production processes were poor, the quality of the products were poor. And what has transformed the industry is the adoption of good practices from the Japanese manufacturers. These countries anyway penetrated the European market, and the reason they did that was the production systems in Britain, as well as other countries in Europe, was poor.
So if we take a global perspective now, let's look ahead. What's the future of the global car industry?
Well, I think it's very interesting in the sense that it's uncertain. If we look at Europe to start off with, what's happening in Europe is that there is already excess capacity. Now, what the global manufacturers are doing are seeing opportunities to establish manufacturing facilities in parts of Europe where no major manufacturing operations occur. So in Russia, 4 large global manufacturing businesses have established new capacity to the tune of 1 million units per annum. In addition to that, then we can expect China to move towards Europe, as Japan did. Now, the most interesting thing about that is already there's overcapacity, but manufacturing industry in Europe, in terms of production of cars, is much stronger. So the Chinese will have much more difficulty penetrating the European market, but I'm sure that they will endeavour to do so. How will they do that? They will acquire and try and establish joint ventures throughout Europe to establish their own manufacturing base. We see them in Europe already, in the sense that they bought Volvo and they've acquired MG Rover. So we can expect to see more of this in the future.
So if we take some predictions of 12 months ahead, how do you see things panning out?
I expect that demand for cars will continue to grow. It's recovering now within Europe, and the strongest will take advantage of that. But we can expect further consolidation, I think is the business term, for organisations to restructure, more closures because there's excess capacity, particularly if China starts to export its products, its own products, into the European market, and I think we can expect that too.
Mike, thank you very much.